those people that have hurt you, would you like to do something about it? Bullying series, done my way, which is we actually go to the nub of the issue. So, welcome. My name's Poppy, if we haven't met. I'm a psychotherapist, psychologist, coach, and I got bullied to be a bigger boy the other day, and it's not fucking okay. So on principle, I'm seeing it through properly. Not a little bit, not half-assing it, not, oh, I've probably done enough now stuff. Is properly to get the thing done so that people hear something changes, ideally, or at least the dude gets some help, because he's not a well man, and as I've said, he has no business being with humans until he's able to self-regulate. Here's the tour in Glastonbury. So this is the second day, and I thought I would come again because it's so glorious. So have a think about you. What are you reeling from where someone's hurt you, bullied you? My definition for bullying is where someone uses some kind of leverage to pull one over on you so that you do it their way. And there are things called communication, where we get to work as a team. We get to be very savvy, informed, and gracious about how we communicate. And then there is sadism, abuse, and all the things. And I'm a fan of us being healthy, whole, and inviting peace. Even in the difficulties, we can have peaceful, loving, compassionate, progressive conversations around difference and human rights and respect and all the things. However, most of us are very insecure and afraid. So don't let it fool you when you meet people who are doing this kind of stuff. They're afraid too. If it's not loving, if it doesn't feel loving, then you're dealing with someone who's in fear, who's wounded. So this is a call for us being loving towards one another. You love you. I know that's challenging for most people. We get to understand who we are first, and then we can decide whether or not we love ourselves. Works that way round. If we care more about ourselves, we'll do better in every single conceivable way. Bullying, try and get one over on someone so that they do it your way. Have you had that experience? In some kind of way, emotional blackmail. In some kind of way, someone is being bullish, dogmatic, looking to shame you. That's a brilliant one, isn't it? To shame you into some kind of submission. I don't do that stuff anymore. I got bullied a lot. How about you? And this is the irony, is people don't call it that generally when we're dealing with adults. You know, the shaming stuff in the feeds, that's bullying. The way the government attempts to seduce us to do it their way, that's bullying. It's dictatorship. It hurts people. It causes all kinds of problems because we don't feel we can face off with the bully. We end up eking it out in our relationships where other people get wounded because we don't have a sense of power and authority. And I don't mean bullying and reactive and shouting and name calling and threatening and so on. I mean being grounded in the human you are and knowing yourself so that you can have your back, because you care about you, you appreciate you, you know what's okay for you and you know what's not. And when we struggle with that stuff, other people get hurt a lot. A lot. If you consider it, what's the collateral damage for you when you've struggled, because you would have, we all do in our own way, to speak directly into something. When you haven't, and you've repressed it and suppressed it and kept a lid on it, where has it come out? In road rage, in you getting a bit drunk or high or getting fat, you're eating on your feelings. This is not about we're doing it wrong. This is me calling for us to do it better life. Maya Angelou said, when we know better, we do better. That's poetic license on what she actually said. So how about it? That we start to have an understanding of what is okay for us and what is not okay for us. Because this half-assing our responses to life, that's the reason why we're in war like we are. And it will continue. If we do this half-assed, half-measured, be a bit passive-aggressive and maybe they'll get them a message, that doesn't work. So again, there's a series I have, Thrive, Boundaries Mastery. You've got 90-day access. It was nearly £300, 245. Now it is you pledge what you feel you can do, what you feel you are worth, and enjoy it. So you can speak directly into things. We still get triggered, and that program tells you about triggers and what they are, and the triggers of the guides and so on. However, it's unbelievable amounts of people tell me that basically when something's not okay, they either do very, very little, if anything, or it kind of ekes out like a balloon, lose your power and do nothing. And that means it happens to other people when we don't stop something in its tracks to say, yeah, this gets to stop with me. Not looking for perfection here, I'm looking for progress. So who's in? Pop I'm in the chat. If you are committed to doing something differently so that you can feel safe and happy in this world and know that you cannot and will not be messed with. Sometimes people will have a go, because if you're going to live a courageous life, that will happen. People will get their thing on. It's like, I could have a fight here. I said to my trainer once, he's a very big guy, Muay Thai, 3 black belts, yada yada. And I said, do people have a go a lot with you? He said, no, not really. A couple of times they have. Trucks come in, which is going to be noisy. Sorry about that. He said he was in a pub once, and thank you. Some guys were looking him up and down, you know. And he said the guys came really close to him. And he said he looked them straight in the eye. And honestly, the way he looks, we all have this in us, this, I wouldn't do that if I were you, is what he said. Just think about that for you, you know, own it. I wouldn't do that if I were you. We all have this in us. I said, what happened? He said, nothing. They just left, like, snaked out of the place. When you know you mean it, other people do too. And we say things and mean them, because you've made a decision between you and you that you will back it up and follow through. We make agreements with ourselves and we fucking honour them, because you have self-respect and you care for you. And that little child inside of you that's been hurt, like all of us, that little child gets to trust that the adult, the healthy, functional adult in you that knows about moderation and boundaries, will step forward and govern your life with authority, with tenderness where you can. Because that little child has been waiting for you and me since goodness knows how many decades. The greatest thing, in my opinion, you can do is learn to be direct, to be straight, to be truthful. And just one more time, this nice, I'm nice, isn't nice. It's dangerous. It's manipulative, it's corrupt. It will corrupt your arteries, because it's a lie. You know, we lie by our mission. It's the most acceptable form of lying, most common. Lying by omission is still lying, my love. You won't respect you when you let your soul be insulted and then you pretend it's fine. So I'll tell you my story next. Think about what you would love for you in your life, your behaviour. If you're a little child inside, that's all manner of hurt, doesn't even think you necessarily know that it exists. If you were to spend a little bit of time just poking around to see that little child, how's she feeling? How's he feeling? He's not necessarily, or she, going to talk to you at this point. Because if you're anything like the thousands of humans I've met, that part of you's been very alone, very heartbroken, and very devastated for a very long time. And trust is not a thing it does well at this point. This is the reason why we're disturbed and sick, hurting, wounded, and we have very little tolerance for other people in their wounded place, because we haven't accepted our own and have no compassion for ourselves. So if we don't have compassion for us, it's going to be very difficult, if not absolutely impossible, to maintain any kind of compassion with somebody else's humanity. That's not to excuse our behaviour when we do shit stuff. However, context is important, in my opinion. So you could have a word with your little one and ask, is there anything I can do to make you happy today? Anything I can do to help you feel safe? Anything I can do to help you know that I'm going to start consistently checking in with you, because I care and I'm committed to doing so. Pop a yes me in the chat if you're willing to answer this call, to attend to you and your edges with compassion. And we're dealing with our own responsibility for things. It's very, very important that we're compassionate. Our culture runs on shame, where we have an association with attention and shame. I'm doing it wrong, I'm bad. So whenever you notice that there's something off that you're doing, that you're thinking, that you've done, you get to celebrate that you have the integrity, the courage, the chutzpah, Yiddish term, to deal with the truth kindly, gently. Whoop, I walked into a spiderweb, good Lord. Wisdom is everywhere. That you get to be kind. So if you're more kind to you, it bleeds. It bleeds into other things, just like anything bleeds into other things. So here's celebrating you, getting more kind, more gentle, more well, more happy, more secure, more powerful, more enlightened, more brilliant and bright. See you shortly.